Hi, Infected. Hi, everybody. We are back, and I have the beautiful and lovely Miss Doreen from Creepy and Cute.
Hey,
If you
how's
guys
everybody
are here
doing?
and you guys could see the intro, please comment and let me know. And more importantly, tell me if you could hear it. Because on my end, because it's coming off of my laptop. Hi, Oscar. On my end, of course, I can hear it because, it's on my laptop. But right now, I'm having this back and forth. I was just explaining with Doreen. I'm paying for a feature that's not working. So I really would like to hear feedback and let me know, you guys, if not only if you saw the intro, but if you could hear it. Okay? It's very important. So, hi. Hi, everybody. How are you? And more importantly, how are you feeling? Is everybody okay? Is everybody all right? I want to make sure that no sound, Colleen. Okay. Well, those rat bastards. Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. How there she is. I'll bring her up. Piper's here. So we'll bring Piper up. Hey, Piper. Okay, there you are. Can you hear us, Piper? Piper, hello? Can she hear us? If you can't hear us, Piper, back out and hop back in, okay? She might not be able to hear us. I need to know if you guys are doing okay after yesterday's episode. I know it was rough for everybody. We want to make sure you guys are all right. Dante, you're watching it now. I actually have it up on my screen. Piper, if can you hear us? Nod your head. We can see you, beautiful, but we can't hear you. So back out and try again in Google Chrome. Can somebody get on Facebook and message Piper for me? One of my admins, please. I have my admins on the comments, you guys. So they're monitoring all the comments, and they'll be answering your questions. Tammy, can you message her, please, real quick, and let her know? I'm going to hop her out real quick. Let her know that we can see her, but we cannot hear her. I know. Back out. Back out. And then come back in on Google Chrome. I'm going to take her out. Okay. Tammy, message her for me real quick, please. Okay. And then we'll hold on, Doreen, to do the reveal until she gets on real quick. So you guys, I'll give you a few updates because I don't want to we'll hold off on the reveal of our newest mascot who is sitting right here. I did as instructed.
My fancy mailing.
I was instructed to open the first envelope and wait for the second envelope so that it wouldn't be so clumsy for the reveal. So, you guys, are you messaging Piper? Because she's sitting in my green room, and I'm not sure if she got the instructions.
I sent a text.
Okay, thank you. Oscar says, I saw it, but I honestly didn't hear it. Okay, yeah, Oscar, thank you. That's the problem I'm having. Be Live and I have been going back and forth and boxing like this. They said that I could do this screen sharing feature and it would work, but it works. But it doesn't help if you guys can't hear that gorgeous, creepy, haunting, beautiful music that goes along with it. So Marta's here. Doreen, see? Can you say hi? There she is. Aw, all these people, you saved them all. Was all you, man, Daryl. That's all I have to say. Aw. She just wrote down the quote from Daryl. Don't make me tear up yet, you guys. I have to get through this entire chat. I have to reveal the doll. I'm going to be a sap by the time this is over. Help me get through it. Okay, let's see. Hold on. She's going to try. Okay, let's try this one. We're going to get through it, guys. I know it's rough. Piper?
Yo.
There we go. Okay. I
That's
know.
a serious echo, man.
Yeah, it works. We figured out that you have to be on Google Chrome and you cannot have Facebook open on anything. If it's on your phone or whatever, close it.
Okie
Or
dokie.
you will hear the echoes.
Okie dokie.
Okay, because what you're doing, it's just like if you're in the studio, you get the reverb action going on.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So everybody that's here already, I'll let you know that Doreen and Piper are on from Creepy and Cute. You guys know who they are. They are the creators of these gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, lovely, just gorgeous. And you guys saw me. I posted my picture last night. I did not let go of Cinder the entire time. I literally was like this with Cinder and Shiva the whole time. And if that doesn't tell you the connection that is in every single one of these dolls, then I don't know what else to tell you. The comfort that they give you, the love, you can feel it. And I will start crying, so I'm going to stop right now. So, they are amazing ladies. I love them. They are admins on the page here because I love them. So the admins are in the comments. They are going to monitor the comments for me. So Colleen, Carrie, and Tammy are down there. They will be answering any questions and trying to monitor for me. And do you guys have anything to say before we get to the big moment? I know.
I know. I can't, man. I have not been able to concentrate or think all day.
The episode was rough. Did you watch the entire episode, Doreen? How did you do?
I think the first text that I sent to Piper at the butt crack of dawn this morning was, my eyes are still swollen.
Yeah.
I can verify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time it was, but it was this morning, and my eyes were still puffy. And that's when I wish I would have had some preparation H for my eyes.
Right? I need to go get some. Guys, that stuff
They're
works.
still, oh.
Yeah. And I also have a headache, and it's not, and I get migraines. This isn't that. This is the headache from crying.
Yep.
And it just wouldn't, and I know you guys saw my picture, like I literally had like crocodile tears. They just were. And
I think the worst line or the worst part, crap.
Don't, I know. It's okay. We're all going to do it. So go ahead. Just
We're going to get through
the part where Carl says to Ms. Schoen, you are my best friend.
I know. So we all can ball together.
That got me so hard.
Yep.
That one really hurt. Because I was flashing back when they were walking around and she just had an attitude and he was just being a little punky kid asking her questions and
she didn't give up on him. No, it's okay. It's gonna happen through this whole chat. I've already resolved with the fact that I'm gonna be a blubbering baby through the whole episode, this whole chat. So it's fine. And you know what? That's why we love the show. If the show makes you feel emotions and it makes you feel connected, and that's what I love. And I love the relationship. I mean, of course, Rick and Carl, because that's his son. So you're expected to feel that emotion. But the fact that he connected with Michonne like that, and it was so touching and it was so genuine. And
yeah, that takes us back all the way to their walk in the woods where she reveals a lot to Carl when he's having a hard time with Rick.
Right.
All the way back. And then I
Right.
started thinking chocolate pudding and cheese whiz. Okay, the cheese whiz. And then,
He kept
then I
trying to
started,
reach him.
honest to God, then I started thinking about the big cat and their walk on the railroad tracks.
Mhm.
And that's when I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm
You
done.
know, I think too, the moment for me, the moment that really tore me up was Judith crying. I just couldn't. And then when Daryl picked her up and left, for me, him leaving said so much to me, because Daryl is that person that keeps all his emotions inside. And I think that that was perfect, that he was like, you know what, let me take her and let me go. Because I don't think Daryl could have stayed there and dealt with it. I think that if Daryl had stayed longer, he would have shattered. I think he would have shattered. And so for him to be strong in that moment for Rick, knowing what Rick was about to go through, because Daryl was there at the prison. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, he did the same thing in the prison. The exact same thing. It was like, you know what? They're going through this. I got to take care of that baby. And he did the same thing again. And I don't think anybody caught on to that. It was a mirror of what he did in the prison.
You're
when
right.
Carl had to put Lori down, his instinct kicked in. It's like, they're shattered. Let me do what I can do to help them. I got to take care of this baby. And he grabbed that baby and he went. And it shows so much of his character and his heart for me, you know?
I'll tell you what did it for me. It was when he was writing the cards, but the one that really clinched it for me was when they did the blue handprints with the blue.
Yeah,
that was the other one.
I was like, nope.
Yeah, because you know, they're going to find that.
Anybody with a brother or a sister or a sibling, that was just too much for me. I'm like, all right. And then the picture on the wall, yeah.
See, I think that the handprints, I think you're right. I think is so significant because everything is burnt, but I guarantee that Rick and Michonne are going to find that. They're going to find those handprints. They made it. How much you want to bet those handprints made it? And then we're all going to fall apart again. And we're all going to be like, oh my God, the handprints.
Or when Judith is older, she's going to find that picture of her and her brother that he did with the Polaroid, because those Polaroids are really fun snaps to take. Yeah, that was, ugh.
And you know that they're somewhere. He put them somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really thought through that entire day. I have tons of notes about his day and his, you know, what everyone said were like the dreams, his foreseeing of the future, and especially the end. And we'll get to that later.
You know what I really think is dynamic about this whole thing is he grew up seriously in tumultuous times that none of us can possibly fathom. And he didn't just have, what was really amazing for me thinking about it was he didn't just have one mentor or, you know, yes, Michonne was his best friend, but collectively all of his experiences up from the time it happened up through, you know, the ultimate, which happened, he really had a lot of teachers. If you really think about it, so many. I mean, if you think back to the scene in the forest outside the prison, when he shot the other kid.
And he had Herschel.
And Herschel was like, whoa, you know, your boy is changing. You
right.
You know, like he had so many people and good people, you know, and that's what I think rounded out him becoming the epic hero badass, because everybody provided their own little piece to what he had become.
Right. I actually wrote, that's part of my notes regarding Dwight. So, because someone had said someone added me to a private group where they talk about things and they go over all these theories. And someone said, you know, why is it that Dwight doesn't understand that this group is a force is a force and Negan can't. And so I wrote it down in the notes because I wanted to talk about that today. And Dwight has been with a group that is run by a dictator. And the reason that he doesn't quite understand our group yet is because our group is made up of what you just said and touched on. And that is that they're a collective. They're a collective of leaders. They're a collective of strength. They balance each other out. There's not just one person trying to rule and run the entire group like in the Saviors. So what Dwight doesn't understand when Daryl says all of us together, because all of them together is what makes them the strong group and force that they are.
Well, and it's funny that you say it like that, because if you think about it, it's kind of like perspective. I had somebody ask me recently, well, wait, Maggie just shot somebody. How is it that her shooting somebody is any different than this other group shooting somebody? And I said, well, you kind of raise a valid point. I said, it really depends on which group you're rooting for. Because if you think about it, the whole I am Negan, that is a collective as well. It's just a different type of collective, okay?
Because he's a dictator. He wants everyone to be him, the ego.
Right.
The ego of me, be me, do as I say. Whereas in Rick's group, Rick values the opinions of those around him. Rick values what Daryl brings to the group. Rick values what Michonne brings to the group. Rick values the strengths of Carol, the wisdom of what, even though he doesn't always agree with Morgan, he values Morgan. That's what makes this group strong. You don't always have to agree, but you must respect. And as long as you have respect and you listen, you're stronger than anything. Anything. As long as you have that. And that's what makes this group so interesting and so strong, and that what gets them through, because they continue to value each other as a collective. Whereas Negan's group, Negan just, it's all like, he insists, we are me. We are me. It's all about me. That doesn't work.
Right.
That will never work.
Not in,
I don't. I think one person. Right. It will never work.
Not in any true community that where people are going to have social mores and somewhat norms. I'm not going to call their behavior exactly normal all the time, but yeah, I would say you can't really. I mean, and I know there was a lot of that whole Rick-tatorship going on there for a bit. You know,
right.
It's not like we haven't seen every member of the current group kind of lose it on their own, just like we do. As humans, everybody's, I think, entitled to muss up, so to speak. And
yeah, but then Michonne punched his lights out and he woke up.
Right. Right. That's called love. That's called love.
She literally, everyone else was like, whoa, he's off his rocker. And Michonne walked up and was like, clack.
Boom.
You need a timeout, son.
Yeah, that's some classic.
Okay, hang on. We're going to keep talking, but I can't take this anymore. You guys, last time.
Here she goes, people. Here she goes.
I had to wait weeks.
Drum roll.
I had to wait weeks because I knew about it, and then it showed up, and it was sitting on my dresser taunting me, and it was pure torture. So hold on, guys.
We love to torture you, Penny. So
I swear you do. I think you do it on purpose.
We do. Like we send them well in advance just so they have to sit there and taunt you.
So I just want you to know, Miss Doreen, that when I cut the envelope, look what I did. And I didn't even peek.
Oh, my God.
I'm such a good girl.
You are a
Well, why would you want to spoil your own surprise?
And it's killing me.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, are we ready? So for those of you who are new to our chats, because I know we do have more people because I tagged us on Instagram and Twitter, and Piper told me she tagged people and blah. So we have our mascots. They're always on the chats. They're always camera ready. If you guys don't believe me, I comb Shiva's hair before every broadcast. I take Miss Cinder Apocalypse, who smells like orange and ginger. This is a true story. She smells like orange and ginger. And I fluff her to make her camera ready. And all I did was mention that, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Miss Cinder got a boyfriend? And then, lo and behold, these beautiful things here. And then we had a thing about, well, what would we name him? And then Tammy and Colleen came up with the name. His name is, so he's already named, Cyron Blaze. So...
Hey, I just realized something. Okay, I'm not always, exactly the smartest bulb. Like, I don't burn that.
No, that would be the brightest bulb.
Brightest bulb. I'm kind of dull, right? I'm kind of dull every once in a while. It just occurred to me. Cinder and Cyron.
Yes, exactly.
C and C.
And C.
Oh, my gosh.
We did that on purpose.
Doit.
It's okay. It's okay. And also know that now I have Doreen and Piper. See?
I'm watching.
See? Oh, ding, ding, ding. My dogs are looking at me like, open the bag, Mom. Okay, guys.
Yeah, because it might have a little bit of Ray smell on it, and it might have a little bit of Ellie smell on it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do it like last time. I'm going to close my eyes. Ready? Okay. Is he in plastic? Like,
yes.
Oh, why do you do this?
Because I can.
Yes.
Oh, he's not. Something fell. Oh, that's your card.
Oh, she's still with her eyes closed.
Oh my God.
Shake him up a little bit. Oh!
Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God, he has a coat.
Look at her. I love her.
No, back off. You cannot have him. Oh my God.
Turn him around.
Wait, I have to look at him.
I know.
No, back off. The dogs want him. Oh my God. I can't talk. Okay, hold on.
Okay. You need a moment, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a moment. Oh, he's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Look at his coat. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's perfect. Oh my God. Look.
I gotta tell you what I really love most.
Oh my God, you signed him? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, you signed him. Oh my God, I can't.
Having a moment. Penny's having a moment, peeps. Penny is
you guys, his coat. Holy, get down. He's not yours. Can you guys see him?
You know what? What I love most, really, I gotta say about Doreen's design on this. I mean, his flaming like red maroon hair. I mean, he's just like a lady killer. I mean, with the jacket, the matching jacket, it's just lady killer all the way.
God, his feet are so soft. Hold on, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. I'm so busy.
He's totally the life partner for Cinder. And they just together, this is just epic and awesome. And I'm so happy.
Oh, I can't. I'm still having a moment. Hold on.
Okay. You have your moment, baby.
No, you can talk. I'm just totally having a moment here. Hold on. You talk.
So then we'll ask we'll ask Doreen. So, Doreen, how did you decide on Cyron and the magnificent maroon red that you got going on with that doll?
Well, I didn't want, because when I first talked to Penny, it was like, oh, what would your dream man for Cinder have? And she was like, oh, I want green eyes, and oh, I think red hair. And when I started going through my stuff, I actually thought maybe at first I would make him a badass. And then I thought, no, he needs to be suave and debonair and still dead, but look good. And look at, don't they make a stunning couple?
Oh my God.
Absolutely. She's lost it, peeps. You know, maybe we plan this podcast like a little too soon after last night, because Penny, you can make it, baby. We love you. We love you. Go make it, baby.
Oh my God. He's perfect.
Yay!
You guys, oh my God. He's so gorgeous. Like, I can't talk. He's got a goatee. This maroon goes with the logo, like.
And it's the same color as his hair.
Yes. Look at this, you guys. Oh my God.
Well,
I don't think you guys.
We are so happy that you're happy, Penny. I gotta say, you are. You know what? When you say we're all infected, and that's kind of been your kind of motto, missiony statement from the onset of the beginning of your page, I gotta say, Miss Penny, you are the one who's infectious. Okay, you bring so many people together, and you do it with such panache and such genuine love. It comes through, and we love you for it. And this is just, you know what? After last night's crushing blow, I actually, no, it's not too soon. Okay, the puffy eyes are still there, and this is what we do, peeps. We share the love, even through tragedy. We just do what we do, right, Dee? We just got to do what we do.
Yep, and like a little bit of creepy and cute sunshine in the best of ways. I dig that your shirt with the lines on it.
I just had to, because you said share the love. Last week was a really, really rough week for me and my admins. It was a rough time, and I was having a rough time, and out of nowhere, this showed up with a note, and I literally, like, the note, I love this shirt. I love this shirt. Don't get me wrong. I love this shirt. But the note meant more to me than anything. And it's in a frame now. I framed it. And the note says, share the love. Love, Helen. And I just lost it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about, is sharing the love.
Got through. I just lost it. And because I don't think people understand that that's what I'm trying to do. Like, get out there, do something for someone else, do a good deed. And the rewards that you get when you do something for someone else, what you feel after that, it's amazing.
It is.
It really is. I love you too, Helen. There she is. She's in the comments.
Yay, Helen!
Yeah, I looked at that paper, and I just was stunned. See, and even if just one person, you know.
Well, so if it's Miss Helen D, okay, she is an incredible lady.
It is.
Yes. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Yes, Doreen and I went through your scarves, and we love them very much. And you may or may not have seen, we took them on our Walker Stalker cruise. And Doreen snatched this one, and she said, "Oh, this is mine. This is mine for the cruise. I'm wearing it as a sarong.
And I did.
You had?
Yes.
What?
I wore it as a scarf over my bathing suit. In fact, if you look at the pictures from that, I'm in that scarf practically the entire weekend. And then, like, I took all your scarves and wore all your scarves the whole weekend while on the cruise. I love them. Thank you.
And that's another example of share the love. Helen, we had no idea it was coming. Zero idea, zero clue. And this wonderful box shows up. And she was so affected by the fact that somebody in Atlanta had kind of, I don't know, some pops went missing, and she felt horrible.
Hi,
Rob
Vanessa.
Mack, Rob Mack of Mac Expo, he made Doreen and I 2 sets of our very own pops.
Yeah, I saw that.
Gift shop pops, and Helen felt so bad about that she gave us a dozen of her own scarves out of her own personal stash, and we were just like blown away. And that's just one kind act, and from there it just snowballs. It just keeps going and going and going.
Doreen, I know you can't see the comments.
I know.
But Carrie, who you met earlier, said, Doreen reminds me so much of Carol. And then Marta said, Doreen is my Carol.
Oh, stop.
I had to tell you that because I know you can't see the comments. So let's just add to the flow of tears that's going to be. So there we go. Yeah, my group is awesome. I'm not letting go of them. They're in my lap right here. They're going to stay right here. They're not going anywhere. I can't thank you enough. I'm just constantly in awe of you.
And
always.
Right back at you, lady.
I love you.
Well, you bring the awe out of us from you. So, you know what I mean? It's your awness that pulls that awness out.
Is honest a word?
Honest? It is now.
So I promised them we'd keep talking about the show, and we have to keep. I don't want to just dwell on the sad parts of, and I do want to talk about, if you guys don't mind hanging out, if you have time. I got
some time.
Okay.
I got some time.
If you have to go, you just let me know.
Okay, but if we want to deter our conversation to badassery,
yes,
Morgan last night was a badass.
Yes,
when he ripped those guts out of that one guy, it was like, yes, finally, he's redeeming himself. Yes.
I know. Morgan going crazy, good and necessary.
Yes, I loved it. I loved his badassery last night. He was ever so powerful with his stick. Yes.
Yes. And I think that as much as people are going to say, oh, but he kept saying, I can't kill it. But see, when your group is in danger, when family is in danger, you notice that he does what he has to do.
Right. He steps up to the plate.
Right. He had to do it. And that's why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
He had to. It's not that he wanted to. And I think that that's the conflict that Carol and Morgan feel inside themselves. It's not that they want to do it. It's that when pushed to that limit, they have to do it. And that's the conflict, hi Floki, that they've been feeling inside and that they've been fighting. There you go, Dor.
A biter, huh?
He didn't want to come up.
Oh. Kitty.
He was mad. He wanted to come up until he realized that I had dolls in my lap, and then he's like, no, I don't like that. So
I'm out of here.
He's very particular about mom time. Mom time is like all mom time or nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I wrote down the thing about that whole I feel that the cliffhanger with Carl's death has been handled wrong. And I think that it should have been an episode completely dedicated to him. And I had to go back and rewatch in order to see all of the Carol and Morgan stuff and the, Ezekiel and everything, because I found myself like so emotional about what was going on with Carl that I wasn't really focusing on all the other stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I had to go back and watch today. And so when I was watching, I was like so excited. First of all, if they made a Carol and Morgan buddy film today, I would see it 10 times over. They are ridiculous together. They are a force to be reckoned with. That's just, no one can beat them. They're amazing. Morgan going back to his cuckoo days. Yes, it did get confusing, Helen. I agree. I think that the editing, the way that they were chopping it so quick, really didn't do justice to either story, and they should have just stuck with all Carl and let us go through the emotions and let us grieve and then go to the other, I'm hoping this is going to change next year. What did you guys think? I mean, I was glad that they killed Gavin, but what did you guys think about this whole like mirroring Carl's problem back at the prison and giving that to Henry? First of all, we got another bratty kid who doesn't listen.
Right. Well, that's what I thought too. That's like
repeating history.
Mm-hmm.
We already went through this. So
right.
That's lazy writing, if you ask me. We have another kid that was told to go back, stay safe, be in the cottage. Now we got another kid that doesn't stay in the house and came out and decided to put himself in danger and then killed someone.
That's what I thought too. I thought, oh, baby Carl.
Yeah. First time we saw those flash dreams, we didn't see Carl. Actually, Marta, in the premiere, we did see Carl go by, but they never showed his face. They only showed him walk by. So there was always this theory from the beginning about why they never showed Carl's face walking by. There was always that theory, and the theory was there were all kinds of stories, but they always concentrated that was Rick's dream. No one ever caught on that it was Carl having the flash forwards.
Okay.
So they did keep that on lockdown. That was good. If you guys want to talk about the ending part right now, we can. And I can tell you this is about that part. Or we can talk about Carl's notes and how you think those are going to play out. Which one do you want to do first?
Carl's notes.
Okay, let's talk about Carl's notes. Carl wrote notes for everyone. And I'm sure that they're going to show everyone reading those notes and how they impact them going forward. So, including, he wrote one to Enid. He wrote one to Michonne. What do you guys think? Who do you think is really going to be impacted the most by his notes?
I'm going to say Michonne, and that's because of her backstory. I think that she'll be profoundly impacted because even though they are best friends, and she said, yes, we are best friends, I think for Michonne, it's a lot more than that considering her backstory with her own son. I think that she's really going to be impacted in a whole new way because I think even though they were best friends, I think in a way, well, she was his mentor, but I believe that he filled that loss and that gap
For Andre.
in her backstory. Right, exactly. So I think out of everyone, and even though she kind of kept it on the down low and under wraps, I mean, she was more than just best friend and mentor. I'm not going to go so far as to say second mom, but it was there. It was definitely there. I mean,
you guys know at this point, Rick doesn't even know that she had a son. Only Carl knows.
oh,
Only Carl knows.
That's why I think that her.
She only told Carl. Nobody else.
Well, you know what? Then maybe when she reads the note, maybe she might feel compelled to finally share the story with Rick.
I don't know if you guys know this theory. I have a theory and I've shared it. And this is why I'm annoyed with how they treated Henry last night. I'm really annoyed because I think it's lazy. I think it's a really lazy way to take it. And I think that was Pimple's way to go. And since he's gone now, and he can't go forward, I will never call him by his name. He's Pimple. He's that gross, annoying goo that shows up when you don't want him and doesn't go away.
Yeah, I know. I think it's been a difficult weekend for everyone, and I'm not gonna cast stones or do anything like that, but for me, it was very difficult already being spoiled for the entire weekend.
Right.
For me, I don't know. Doreen and I mean, we got on a plane and went to Madison Square Garden just to see season 6 premiere. I mean, we had to sign
waivers, right.
Confidentiality waivers,
right.
and I felt very weird about after all that, and then it was spoiled all weekend. Like, you couldn't not get away from it. I mean, there's just no way. You literally would have had to have not gotten on social media, and even before this weekend. I mean, they started it quite early on, and for me, knowing what was going to happen,
it ruined it.
It didn't ruin it. It was still there. The emotions and everything were still there, but it's the only time I've ever seen a show actually spoil its own show.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think he did this. And so for a showrunner to deliberately tarnish his own project, for me, that's like, so I have hope going forward that the new showrunner, who is a massive comic book fan, she literally fangirls when she sees Robert Kirkman. She fangirls. She cannot keep her composure. And she has written 22 episodes of the series, and they are the highest rated of the series. So it gives me hope that she, and I really hope, because of hints that I saw, that they are going to take it in the direction that I think they are, regarding how they're going to recover from this massive garbage heap that he has left behind. Because if you are a comic book fan, you know that he is still in the comics, and he is a massive leader. He is a main character. He is, Carl is an equal. He is on par at the same level as Rick. So this is why, when people say, why can't fans get over it? Why? Because if you read the comics and you know where the story's going, he is an important person in so many other characters' arcs and stories going forward that they cannot fathom who is going to fill those shoes. And what they did last night with this kid Henry, and when I asked on the page, who's Henry? You know what everybody said? Who is he? We don't know. Nobody knows who this kid is. So for them to insinuate and then pull that nonsense last night that maybe this kid Henry could step in and fill Carl, no. That kid, first of all, Rick doesn't even know that Henry's alive any more than 90% of the people who watch the show. So tell me how Rick Grimes is going to leave his legacy to this kid who he doesn't even know exists.
It's going to have to be some magical screenwriting for sure and performance.
What I believe, and I've had this theory and I've discussed it with some people, and I know you guys know who Hercules is. Hercules Handy. He has this group that discusses, what do you think could happen, possibilities, blah, blah, blah. And I've had this theory for a while, and I discussed it with a few people, and they were like, if that happens, redemption.
Okay.
Because it's the only way, but she's not old enough. Judith is not old enough, and I don't see that happening, you guys. Listen. Read the comics, and then come back to me, okay? Before you say it's going to be Judith. That's all, and that's why I say it. You guys need to read the comics to understand. My theory is, how we just saw Rick when he was, I think he was traveling to go see Jadis, and he looked up and he saw the helicopter, and we all were like, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I think that was a hint. That was deliberate. Okay?
Yeah.
That was deliberate. And I think that, like you guys said, how you said, Piper, that I've never seen where a show tattletale on itself, right? How it spoiled its own. Again, I understand how people who read the comics are excited for a certain group to come in, because when I read it in the comics, I was like, what the hell just happened? And if you don't know about them and you read it, their introduction is like what the fuck? Literally, that's how you take it. The Whisperers, okay?
Right, okay.
I am so upset because people have not shut up about them. They keep talking and they keep talking, and I'm sad because they have talked so much that now people who don't read the comics, it will not have the same effect on the show.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying without us saying what happens, in case someone here doesn't know?
Well, yes, now you bring
Helen. So this is my thing. If they do it on the show now, it's not going to have that same impact because people know. So I really believe that showing that helicopter is a hint, and they are going to skip that for a moment. I don't think that they will throw it away. I think they'll bring it back once people forgot about them for a minute, and then they'll sneak it in so they can have that aha. Do you understand?
Right, but here's the thing that is now on my mind now that we've said helicopter. Let's go all the way back to the first episode. What was Rick running, or what was he riding towards?
No, that's not it. No, that's not where I'm going. I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying, like, we saw a helicopter early on. I mean,
yes, but that was early on when it first happened, and there still was ample gasoline and blah, blah, blah. And now we're 3 years into it. What I'm talking about is what's currently going on in the episodes right now. And I think because of Gimple, Pimple, Snot Bags, you fuck up.
Shabang!
Tell us how you really feel, girlfriend.
Yeah. But you guys have to admit, he really screwed up by killing off Carl. He really screwed up, and he alienated at least half of the fan base. Now they got to recover. They have to do something to get people back. So what's taking place right now, something remarkable was hinted at. It was another like, wait, no way. And when I saw the helicopter, it hit me. It dawned on me. They can save the show if they do this now. When I saw the helicopter, I was like, if they bring this, if they introduce this next, they could actually redeem, because it would have that emotional connection that would be needed to fill Carl's shoes. Stay with me for just 1 second. Stay with me, I promise. You talk about Rick and Carl. That's his son. Of course he loves his son. And then in comes Michonne. She had that connection with Carl, yes? Yeah. And Michonne loves Rick. Carl is Rick's son. Okay? Do you follow me so far?
Yep.
Rick and Michonne are like this. That's a solid thing. What do you think would happen if they came upon a massive group that has over 50,000 people strong? They've rebuilt their community. They've rebuilt a city. They have security that's in gear that basically makes them look like stormtroopers. They've got a factory. They've got gasoline. They've figured out. They're way past Eugene. Okay? They're rebuilding society. They also have survivors. And if Rick and Michonne are out scavenging, looking for supplies, and come across a huge billboard with pictures of people who are still looking for their families, and Michonne comes across a picture that says, "Have you seen my mommy?"
Shut up! Shut, no way! No way. But she said in her story...
No, she never saw it. She assumed.
Oh, guess who's going to be watching an episode right after this?
This just happened in the comics.
Okay. You got me.
Do you follow me now?
Yes, I'm following.
Because are you going to sit here and tell me that if that happened, that Rick Grimes wouldn't take to that kid? And that kid, are you kidding me? That kid kid would be her, plus under the influence of him. Can you imagine?
Oh, I can, but let's help me figure out it. Part of her backstory was he was like 2.5. So how old would he be? Everybody knows
he would probably be about the same age, to be honest, about the same age as Henry.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's be honest. Who do you think a legacy would go to? Henry or Andre?
You know what? If Andre pops in, I'm gonna lose my cookies.
Yes. But do you agree that would redeem what just happened?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
It's never going to take his place.
Right. I think redeem, maybe no, but maybe take the story somewhere. This is kind of how I feel. And please, no hating. But I kind of almost feel like I felt when they finally got off the farm. I was like, yes, they finally got off the freaking farm. I'm almost like I'm there. Like, can
Hold on, Piper. Like, I'm not trying to interrupt you. Hold on. Elizabeth, you have to understand that when we come back, there's going to be a time jump. Hold on, Piper. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, Elizabeth, you need to understand it's not going to be the same. There's going to be a time jump when we come back from the end of this season, there's going to be a time jump from the end of this season to the premiere of next season, because that's what happens in the comics. There will be a time jump. So by the time this happens, he will not be 5. He will be probably,
Gotcha.
to be honest, he will be a teenager.
Okay.
So he will not be 5. Okay, there you go. Now you guys can see where I'm going. I have been discussing this for a few weeks now because I'm so angry about what happened to Chandler Riggs. I think, but for Angela Kang, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to see what possible ideas, where she could do something, and what could possibly, because you have to remember, with the Whisperer story, then you have Alpha, then you have Lydia. Lydia was a love interest for Carl. What's going to happen? That's a major, major, major story, a major plot line in, I mean, so much of that feathers out into other people. By killing Carl, he broke so many stories for so many other characters. That's why so many people are upset. You can't just throw just anybody in that part. It has to be someone who Rick would be emotionally connected to. And for me, of course, Rick Grimes would take to Andre as his own. I mean, Michonne, look how she felt. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
If they do this, Doreen, you're sitting there and I see you thinking, and I want to know what you think about what I just said.
I'm just trying to take it all in because I'm trying to put together all the broken links, like how Andre would bring that. And then you have, there's too many broken links, and I don't think that one person will bring all those links back together.
I don't know. I don't know if they can. I just think that
it's a good start.
Yes, because in the comics, Michonne doesn't have a son. She has twin girls. You know, they change things a lot. Right. So what happens in the comics is Michonne is on a run and she walks up to the billboards and there's a picture of her and it says, "Have you seen our mommy?" Mm. And it's her twin girls because they were at that camp. And even though she, thought that was it, it turns out that they were rescued before the big turn and they were taken off and they were, protected and cared for. And this group has had them this entire time. But they've been looking for their mother.
But what about the connection between Negan and Carl? That's a connection that's the thing that really... That's a weird connection right there, because I think Negan respected Carl and liked and cared for Carl. Even though Negan is Negan, I think Carl really mattered to him.
Yes, that's the thing that bothers me. I posted Jeffrey Dean Morgan's tribute to Chandler, where he stated that the main reason he wanted to join the show was because he was excited to do the storyline between Negan and Carl. And his words, they barely scratched the surface.
Right. Well, I think
hold on. I am so sorry. Someone just wrote this, and this is where I have to nip things in the bud. So Tammy, I just lost my train of thought, but I need you to go look this up right now and confirm it, because I don't like when people just comment and we don't have confirmation. But someone just put down that there's an article on Nerdist that says that Lauren is for sure gone from the show after this season. So I don't like that. So Tammy, can you go look it up and make sure? Because I don't like things being stated without positive confirmation. And I don't like when things are like, if it says, because in the same comment it says negotiations are still not going. It doesn't say that negotiations have been cut off.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of transition. I mean, I think that it's The Walking Dead is salvageable, but what I think is going to need to happen based on the length that the show's already aired and the projection that it's supposedly written to go on forever, the only true way for that to happen is to bring in a catalyst like Andre coming back to Michonne. With that, because they've also removed very strong, well-liked characters like Glenn, Abraham. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're going to have to establish, and it can't be done in
An
just
emotional
an episode.
Right.
They have to establish some other very well-liked people that people can identify with.
Right.
For them to continue going, even if they can't just, it can't just be all on the Andre connection. There's going to have to be some more stories built with strong characters that people fall in love with in order, I think personally, for it to continue with the strong fandom and base that it has.
Did you catch Chandler last night say Michonne's kid? Tammy, was that on Talking Dead? Did he slip? See, you guys, I'm telling you. Someone else said, yeah, Tammy, I thought it was a flub. Now I need to go watch Talking Dead again. I'm telling you, there is it in our inbox. So you guys heard him say he mentioned Michonne's kid last night on Talking Dead?
I missed it.
I did too. I was too.
I was, yeah. Well, the thing about last night's Talking Dead that upset me is that I know you guys know this about me, but I am a people being empathic. I watch people's faces and I get a reading. Chandler was genuinely upset last night, and if you watch his face, he teared up a couple times, and he did not want to leave the show. And he's been okay so far, and he's been taking it with a grain of salt, and he's been very good about it. He's had humor about it. But last night, I think it hit him that this was the last time.
Well,
and
it was hard. I concur with you, Penny, because I was also watching him and his body language, and he was not looking directly at the camera. He kept looking down, and his eyes kept going back and forth and down. And usually that is suggestive that people are having a rough time speaking, unless they can, look you in the eyeballs.
Right.
And I think that was evident. I think last night, this past weekend, and in the oncoming weeks, I think it's going to be a very difficult pill still. I think it's not just now. It's going to reverberate a little bit down, Right. I'm. It just made me sad to watch him. Yeah. It hurt, and I can see it going a little blurry. Are you guys okay on my end? Okay. Yeah. It was hard for him, and I know that Chris Hardwick was doing his best to be gentle with him.
See, and I thought Chris was really emotional last night, and I thought that Chandler was really good about holding his emotions because he's an 18-year-old young man, and I just don't see, like when my son was 18, Piper's son is 18, they really kind of don't, like they don't want to be hugging on their moms and crying in public. And so I thought last night Chandler did really well, to the point where I looked at him. He is a young 18-year-old. He grew up with these people, and he's holding it together, and he's not going to show that emotion. I'm sure the minute he walked off that set last night, he probably cried. But
Right.
he wasn't gonna. He's 18. He's not gonna do that.
Right.
And I thought, Nicotero was a little, cross-armed and kind of cold about it.
Yeah,
Almost kind of numb. And then I thought maybe, like I told Piper earlier, I thought, maybe that's what makes him a really good special effects guy, because he's so stoic and he doesn't show those emotions. And that's why he can do all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to stay mum on him.
You're going to what? Wait, say that again.
I'm going to stay mum on Nicotero.
I know. I need to stay mum too, but
I think he's an AMC boy, so I'm going to
keep my opinions to myself on that one.
I agree. He's a great makeup artist, and I agree.
That's what I say.
Bar none. But
you know what? I got the perfect thing for all this. How about you share the love, peeps? Share the love.
Helen, the thing about no cast members being on, that is something that fuck it. Okay, you guys got to remember that Talking Dead. Helen, sweetheart, you need to remember.
I almost lost my coffee, girl. Oh my God.
Sorry, next time I'll give you a warning. Helen, you need to remember that Chris Hardwick, bless his heart, I love him to death, but you need to remember that Talking Dead is still affiliated under AMC, and he has a job. And AMC is currently, as you guys know, being sued. So this whole thing with Chandler has not been handled well. It has not been nice.
Keep it to yourself, Penny.
We know. Bullshit.
We got you.
Gimple, pimple, smug little prick that he is. He did this dirty. He did it out of spite. He did it, and you guys know what I think about this. And if you follow the timeline, he got the showrunner thing of Fear the Walking Dead in April. He took that as a demotion because his ego is bigger than his snotty little face. And he decided, Piper, don't worry. I'm going to let it all out. Don't tell me to speak my mind.
Okay, go, girl, go.
He decided that, you're going to demote me. So that happened in April. And what did he do? He pulled May. The show starts filming. Right? Who is Robert Kirkman's favorite character? He's never been shy about it. In all the panel discussions I've ever watched and every interview that he's ever done, if people ask, who is your favorite character in your comics? His answer is Carl Grimes. So what did Scott Pimple do? He said, I'll show you. And he turned around, and in June, he pulled Chandler Riggs in, who was a complete innocent in this whole thing, and he fired him for no reason other than Pimple has an ego problem. And then in August, Kirkman said, I've had it up to here with AMC. They don't listen to me. They're ruining my product. This is my artistic thing. This is my show. That's my comic. You got this jerk who's steadily, I have a picture right now showing how bad the show has declined since Pimple took over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's bad. And I've tried to be positive about it, but it's not. And he went like that. And Kirkman had it up to here. So he went, and on August 11th, he signed with Amazon Prime. And on August 17th, he slapped AMC with a lawsuit. And he's like, give me my money. You know who's not part of the lawsuit? First of all, who's part of the lawsuit? Robert Kirkman, Gail Ann Hurd, Denise Huth, David Axelrod, the guy who shows up all the time but you barely see him, and Glenn Mazzara, previous showrunner. Who else is suing them? Frank Darabont, previous showrunner. You know who's not? Greg Nicotero. So then AMC goes into crisis mode because the only show that is making them money is The Walking Dead. It's their cash cow. It makes them so much money. And you gals go to the cons. You know. AMC rakes in millions. They're not paying the cast. Andy and Norman, Lauren, all of them, they get paid nothing. Nothing. AMC owns the studio, so they lowballed themselves for the licensing fees, which I don't know if you understand this, but I sent Elizabeth the lawsuit regarding this. Most of the time, a studio or a network films everything in an outside studio, and then they have to pay them licensing fees. AMC figured out a way around it, bought their own studio, so they have to pay themselves. So they take all the money. They're making millions, and they're not paying anything. That's why Robert Kirkman and everybody is suing them. When the shit hit the fan and Robert said, fuck you guys, I'm going home, they said, oh no, what do we do? Kirkman said, one of my demands, get rid of Pimple. He asked for Angela Kang. That was his personal pick. They didn't want to fire Gimple because if they do, that'll be one showrunner, two showrunners, three showrunners that sue them. In order to avoid a lawsuit, what do? It's easier to keep someone and put them in a corner than to fire them, okay, and have another lawsuit. So they give him this little whatever the hell. He probably made the title up himself, and they put him in the corner to try to appease things right now. And that's what's going on. Piper, I have the lawsuit. I know you work in a law firm. You can read it. If you read the lawsuit, and what gets me is that everyone affiliated with the show is on this lawsuit, except Tarot. And that bothers me because AMC is ripping all these people off badly. They treat them badly. Apparently, he's fine.
He might have, not that I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, but
No,
I've done a lot of contract law before, and his contract with AMC may be something completely different because Nicotero does a lot of special effects for a lot of different groups and for a lot of different movies. And he just may only have a special effects with them. He may not have any input when it comes to the actual writing part of the storyline. He may not have any input other than special effects. Right. And so long as he can continue doing special effects and his contract is special effects, he doesn't give a fuck. And he's not going to rock that boat if all his contracting is special effects, doing makeup, doing hair, doing that kind of stuff, you know?
Because that's when people ask him, like, why didn't you speak up about the writing? He doesn't write.
Exactly.
He will direct. Now they have put, he directed this episode. They will have him direct. But he doesn't write any of the episodes ever. But this is why he sits there and he never says anything because he's fine with whatever contract he has with AMC. He's fine, but everyone else, they're not. And I have read, it's 64 pages, and I read it. And the way that AMC has taken this money is nuts. And the way that they, like, what right now, what Lauren's going through, is that me or
I don't know.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, you're crackling just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, hold on, let me make sure that nothing's open.
It's the little man in the background.
It's Pimple trying to shut me down. Every time I start talking about him, this happens. You guys think I'm kidding, but the thing that bothers me is that shows with ratings like 3 million an episode or 1 million an episode, those actors are getting paid like $750 an episode. And let's admit, actors get paid too much, and we can, fine. But still.
I'll be right back. Keep talking. Okay. I have to step out for just a second.
The people on like the Big Bang Theory and stuff, those ratings, they're like 3 million an episode. What? You compare them to The Walking Dead, if they rake in 16 million per episode, and Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln and stuff, they're getting paid $60,000 per episode after 8 years. Where is all that money going? So this is why when the contract negotiations started to pop up and Lauren said, I want to be paid properly. She deserves that. So does Melissa. So does Denai. And Erica, you can keep going on and on and on, honey. And I see you commenting, but I'm telling you right now, there is no confirmation about what you said. We have looked it up. As of right now, this is like when people kept arguing with me and saying The Walking Dead has not yet, they said, oh yes, The Walking Dead's renewed. I had the site, and The Walking Dead had not yet been renewed for season 9 until, what was it, Piper? I think it was like January 26th or 27th when they finally renewed it. And everyone kept saying, oh no, it got renewed a long time. No, there's a difference between expected and confirmed. So you guys don't go and start reading these little articles from 6 months ago. You need to look at the date, and you need to make sure things are confirmed. And I'm telling you right now, I stay on my admins and I tell them, research, research, research. Or I won't let it be posted. I'll delete it. It matters. Yeah. It matters, okay?
Research and facts are definitely paramount.
Yes.
And opinion is different than fact. So.
Yes. And integrity means everything to me. And, we care about that on this page. We don't care about being first. We care about being right. And that there's a difference. I don't care about posting something before everyone else. I could care less. I don't care. I care about being accurate, being truthful, doing the right thing, not being popular. Okay? So, let's talk about the last little clip on the show, Piper.
Okay, I'm here. You go.
Okay. So, the whole episode, right? You kept seeing the little dream sequences, and you find out that those were Carl's. I hope not, Elizabeth. I'm going to remain hopeful. We're going to remain hopeful until we get a confirmation that it's over. Okay? So, we keep seeing the little sequences, right, Piper? And we find out that this is Carl and his hope for the future that he can see if Rick stops fighting, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, at the end, you see Judith running and there's Negan picking tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Well, because he's Negan, my first gut reaction is, uh-oh, he's going to work some angle.
I dropped my pen.
He's going to work some angle, and, Judith is going to somehow be a part of it. He's a mastermind of his own house, so to speak. He's set up so well with his minions and wives and workers and just everyone. And he's a master manipulator. So I saw manipulation using Judith. I mean, she's obviously too young to directly like, oh, Judith, go do this and it'll impact. But I think there might be some usage, possible usage, and that kind of scared me a little bit. That like he's losing. He knows. I felt like he knows he's losing the grip on his own people that he has, and I felt like, he's now that Carl's gone, he's now going to reach out in some way, shape, or fashion and use Judith, and I that just kind of made my gut sink a little bit.
Doreen,
What?
the question? Did you get tea? What kind?
I have lavender honey.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, I'm really cold, so I had to get up and move a little bit.
Okay. It's
Sorry,
cold.
it happened.
So at the end, we saw all through the episode, we saw the little clips of Carl, his vision for what could be if Rick stops fighting, right? And you find out that those little dream sequences are from Carl. So at the end, when you saw the little clip and Judith is running through the garden, and then there's Negan and he's picking tomatoes. What did you think? What do you think that is?
Well, the first thing that came out of my mouth, honestly, was, what the
Fuck.
Yeah. It was like, because in the back, it was like the gray hair and, and I'm thinking, man, Rick, come on, that's got to be Rick. And then when he turned around, it was like, and that's what, literally came.
Right.
So I don't trust Negan, and I'm not about to start trusting Negan, and I think he has an ulterior motive, and what better way to get even with Rick than to go through his daughter?
Right. That's kind of what Piper just said too. That's so.
Although he ages so beautifully, sorry, have to just say that.
That's the thing about narcissistic sociopaths. They draw you in because they're charmers.
Yep.
They don't.
I mean, it scared me. It was like,
yeah. There was a lot of chatter on Twitter, and people were like, no, there's no way that Carl saw that happening, and oh my gosh, and Negan's
I think Carl has, he never was one to give up hope. And I think his hope was to have world peace and everybody come together and, like us, share the love. And so I think maybe his hope and his dreams were that someday everybody would come together and try to make it a better place and a better world for everybody to live in. So maybe that was what his thought process was, okay, Negan's going to survive, but eventually Negan's going to give in and become a part of the society that wants to be together and grow together and prosper together and not be the nasty control person. So I think Carl's never gave up on that dream of peace.
Right. And I think people are just they want so badly for revenge against Negan. And so no, Elizabeth, Siddiq was not part of Negan's group.
Nope.
And
he was a traveler. He was a
traveler on his own. Siddiq is a good guy. Siddiq is also a doctor, which I think is good because Maggie's going to need a doctor. Our group is going to need a doctor. We still don't even know if Hilltop's doctor do we know if he's still alive? We don't know. Just like Heath, we don't know. And so you guys know that happens in the comics as well. Heath disappears for a while, then he comes back, then he disappears, then he comes back. Yeah, Roanna, that's what Doreen is saying, that Carl was being super optimistic about it. A lot of people were just flat out furious that he showed up. I saw people on Twitter that were just like, no, like Elizabeth, I couldn't decipher it. No, that can't happen. That can't happen. I mean, I need you guys to get ready. I need you guys to prepare. I love my infected, and I'm here to like prepare you. But Morgan built that cell for a reason. And at the end, you know, there's a reason why Rick says, "May my mercy prevail over my wrath." You guys need to you need to be prepared. There's going to be a huge lesson in the next 7 episodes. And I think, to be honest, that it's a good lesson. I think it's a good lesson, not in the literal sense, but the overall sense that sometimes harboring so much inside when you're hell-bent in one, you know, that you need to step back for your own well-being, for your own benefit. You know, I think that Carl's point was that his dad is so hell-bent on revenge that it's almost consuming him.
Right.
And I think that everybody needs to sit back and look at that and think about in the wider sense that
well, and Rick has
mercy have a broader message. You know what I mean?
And Rick has demonstrated that he can get consumed and
right.
get off of his own path. So, and his son was there to see all of those
right.
times. So Carl was definitely aware that, hey, Dad,
you're doing it again.
Yeah, like
okay. One of the things I could be wrong, and because maybe I was maybe crying too much, but I thought at one point, and please correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Carl say something to his dad to the effect that Negan didn't do it? It was he actually had to tell him, I was bitten and it wasn't on purpose.
Yes.
Like, I got bit.
Yeah, because
it wasn't supposed to happen, but I got bit. It's nobody else's fault.
Because Rick kept saying when the bombs were going off, Rick kept saying it was them. It was them. And so he already had that focus, like, I'm going to get them. And he was like, Dad, it wasn't them. This had nothing to do with them.
Okay, so I did hear it right.
He did hear it right. He was like, no, look at me. Look at me and listen to me. See, people hear, but they don't listen.
Oh, yeah.
And he was telling him, you hear bombs. And you just are hell-bent on revenge right now. It had nothing to do with them. I went to help someone who needed my help.
Right.
It just happened. It's like when people get angry about an accident and all they can think of is like, and it's like sometimes things happen. And how you react afterwards is what matters. You know? No, he doesn't, Elizabeth. I think that he was just traumatized that his son is sitting there dying. I don't think that he blames Sadiq because I think in those last moments, I mean, it's hard not to like Sadiq. It really is. I mean, he even sat there and told Carl, you know, and Carl said, you know, we were honoring my mother, and Carl said, I was honoring my mother as well. You know, and Carl's, you know, the last few words he was saying there, I think Rick realized, like, it wasn't this guy's fault. And then he said, you're a doctor? And he thought, oh my God, Carl was trying to help. He was trying to bring a doctor back.
Right. And then Carl also said something to the effect that he couldn't have done it by himself. Like Sadiq couldn't have lived by himself. Like he needed us and we needed him.
Right.
He wasn't going to leave him out there by himself.
Right. And that's another thing too. And that's the thing too. It goes back to what I said about a collective that, hold on. Someone just made a good point. So I had to write it down so I don't forget to say something. I don't know which one of my admins said it. Yes. And that goes back to being a collective. It wasn't just that Sadiq was a wanderer who was going to die by himself. He had something that they needed, but also you know, people need people. And I think Rick is forgetting that, and Carl is trying to remind him of all the good that is still there. Rick is so consumed by the fighting right now. And he's trying to bring him back to reality that we can still, like Michonne had for a while, we can still build a life. We can still have good things. And Rick,
right.
he tends to get lost, when he gets into his fury. So he needs to, I love Michonne for that reason, because she's good with that too. She brings him back and she's like, we can still have a life. We can still have good things. We can still, be happy. You don't have to constantly be out there fighting.
Which is absolutely epic and amazing considering her backstory.
Right. Hold on, let me read this. So the last little picture, this was another thing that I was sent immediately first thing this morning, and this kid, he is a kid. He's only like 16, 17. He constantly sends me these massive conspiracy theories about the show all the time. He always wants to go tit for tat with me about the show. Bless his heart. He sent me the picture of Rick sitting under the tree, which is from the finale. That will be from the finale when Rick says, "May my mercy prevail over my wrath." And you see two of the little stained glass windows hanging in the tree that are from the church. So it must be after they've partially rebuilt a bit. And he's sitting under the tree. And he's obviously wounded. And it does look like his leg is broken, which is on par with the comics. But one of my admins just noticed he's shot in the same spot where Carl was shot when he got shot with the deer.
Right.
And it's also the same spot where he was bit. Now, I made the mistake of saying this. It was an observation I said a few weeks back, and I said, "Hey, Infected, I just noticed something when I was rewatching this. Did you guys happen to notice that Carl got bit in the spot where he got shot?" And I immediately regretted it, you guys. I'm so sorry, because then everybody ran rampant, like, "Oh my God, that means he's going to live because if you get bit in scar tissue." And I was like, I didn't mean it that way, guys. I'm so sorry. I just meant, I thought it was guys, or maybe they do just to drive us insane. But Rick is sitting under that tree and he is shot in the exact same spot. What this person noticed is Rick's hand is it's completely bloody. And because of the way the shade falls on it, it does look odd, but he said, look, he has a plastic hand, so they're going to cut his hand off. It just makes me go like this with my temples for a minute. Because they're not going to do it, guys. They're not. And I know they did it in the comics. But Robert Kirkman said that's his biggest regret, that he wishes he had never done it in the comics. If they didn't have the CGI budget to keep Shiva around for 2 more episodes, they're not going to put a CGI on the main character's right hand. Every single scene that Rick would ever be in, they would have to CGI and take away his hand. And I'm sorry, but we just went over how cheap AMC is.
They couldn't even get the plane out of the background, okay?
Thank you. So it's not going to happen, guys. Enough with the they're going to chop Rick's. No, they're not. They're not, because they don't want to pay for the CGI. That's why we finally got to see Shiva, and we only got smidgets of her. We should have seen a lot more of her, but we didn't, because they just didn't want to pay for the CGI. So No, that's just the way the lighting is. I wish that they would stop. That's the other thing too. Have you guys noticed that a lot of the episodes lately are really dark?
Yes.
Did you guys have trouble seeing last night? I had to actually walk up and look because it was hard for me to see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really dark. And I wish they would knock that off so we could see what's going on. I was already like having trouble seeing through crocodile tears.
Right.
I was like, so, all right. So we will let you guys go. We've yapped on for a while now, and I want to tell everyone, thank you. I want to tell Doreen and Piper, thank you, that I love you. I want to say that I'm still speechless. I probably will stare at him for hours, noticing all the gorgeous details. Oh my God, his hair's so soft. You guys need to go to their shop on Etsy. Right, ladies? Tell them your Etsy.
Oh, just find Etsy and type in creepy and cute shop and boom. You'll find us.
Yes, and look at all, there it is. And look at all their beautiful, gorgeous, amazing creations. Like I've told you guys before, when you've asked, like, how can I get an infected doll? There's a little button where it says, request a custom doll. Is that what the button says?
Mm-hmm.
When you click there, you just let them know that you want an infected doll, and it will have this gorgeous. However, your infected doll will be original.
Mm-hmm.
Every doll is original, so it will not look exactly like Cinder. It will just have this. That's the only thing. Your doll will be original and yours alone. That is what is so amazing and so beautiful and so special about them. So every time I have these chats and every time they see Cinder, they're like, how do I get one? How do I get one? So I love you guys.
I love you too.
I can't even
Hugs! Everybody hug! Everybody hug!
hug yet.
Everybody hug!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Know that you're amazing. I love you. We will see you guys next week for another recap chat. And we're all infected.
Yes, we are. We are so uninfected.
We're gonna try the video again. Let's see if it works.
Ciao.
See you guys.
Later, guys.
Mwah. Let's see if I can get it to go.